The grass was perfect yesterday. Today, half of it is brown, dry, and chewed down to the dirt overnight. You walk outside with your coffee, and you cannot believe what you're seeing. A lawn that took years to grow, destroyed in a single night. Most homeowners blame the weather, the dog, or themselves. But the real answer is hiding in the soil right under your feet. Tiny green caterpillars, marching together in silence, eating everything in their path. They are called fall armyworms. And the moth that lays their eggs can drop up to 1,000 of them in a single night. 1,000 eggs on a single fence post, on a single blade of grass. That number alone should stop you in your tracks. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how to find them, kill them, and stop them from ever coming back. With 3 things you probably already have inside your house right now. No expensive sprays, no exterminator, no guesswork. Before we open this vault, if these stories matter to you, the best way to preserve this wisdom is simple. Subscribe, hit the bell, and share these vaults with those who need to remember what we forgot. Now let us begin. A fall armyworm is not actually a worm. It is the larva of a moth, scientific name Spodoptera frugiperta. At full size, the caterpillar is 1.5 inches long, with dark stripes running down each side and a clear upside-down letter Y on its head. That Y is the signature. If you see it, you know exactly what you're dealing with. And at this size, they can strip your entire lawn in 2 to 3 days during warm, dry weather. And that is exactly why I built a complete guide for this. Inside the guide, you will find every species, every life stage, every treatment ranked by cost and speed. Pictures, dilution charts, the soap test step by step, and the long-term prevention plan. The link is the first one in the description below, but before you grab it, let me show you the test that will save your lawn today. You only need 3 things, and all of them are sitting in your kitchen. A gallon of water, 2 tablespoons of plain dish soap, and a watering can or a simple bucket. That is it. Total cost, less than 50 cents. Mix the soap into the water gently. You do not want to make foam. Pour it slowly over a 1 square yard area at the edge of the damage, never the dead center. The middle is already empty. The army has moved on. The edge is where they are right now, advancing. Then wait. 30 seconds, sometimes a full minute. The soap irritates the larvae hiding in the thatch layer, and one by one they come up. You will see them wriggle out of the grass and crawl toward the surface. Now count them. 3 or more in that 1 square yard means treatment today. 10 or more means emergency mode, and you treat tonight. Before we continue, tell me in the comments what country you're watching from. I'm curious how many growers around the world are discovering this at the same time. And if you're not subscribed yet, now is the moment, because what I am about to show you will change the way you look at every lawn in your neighborhood. Now let me give you something serious. I built a complete lawn defense guide that takes everything in this video and goes much deeper. Inside, you will find the full breakdown of every armyworm species in North America, the soap test with detailed photos, application charts for both organic and chemical treatments measured by lawn size, plus the 40-page prevention manual that keeps them gone for years, not weeks. There's also a section on identifying the moth, the egg masses, and the 7 warning signs that show up before the damage does. One access, the complete knowledge, forever. The link is the first one in the description. Now let us get into the part most channels never tell you. There are 2 products that cost almost nothing and work almost instantly. The first is called BT, short for Bacillus thuringiensis, a natural soil bacteria sold under names like Thuricide, Monterey BT, and Safer Caterpillar Killer for around $15 a bottle. The second is Spinosad, also natural, sold as Captain Jack's Dead Bug Brew, Monterey Garden Insect Spray, and Benign Captain Jack's for about $20. BT works on small caterpillars within 2 to 3 days. Spinosad works on caterpillars of any size within 24 hours. And here is what you do tonight if the soap test came back positive. Step 1. Pick up either BT or Spinosad on the way home from work, plus a 1-gallon pump sprayer if you do not already own one. Step 2. Wait until the sun sets behind the trees, around 7 or 8 in the evening depending on your time zone. Step 3. Mix the product according to the label, never stronger than recommended, never weaker. Step 4. Spray every square foot of the affected area, plus a 5-foot buffer of healthy grass around the damaged zone. Step 5. Walk away and do not water for 24 hours. That is the entire emergency protocol. Total time, less than 1 hour. Total cost, less than $35. And for severe infestations, where the lawn is already half gone and the larvae are massive, there is one more option to keep on the shelf. Carbaryl, sold under the brand name 7, is a stronger chemical insecticide that knocks down armyworms of any size within hours. It is not organic, it is not bee-friendly, and you must keep pets and children off the lawn for 48 hours after application. But when the situation is desperate and the natural options are too slow, 7 is the heavy artillery that ends the war in one application. Use it as a last resort, never as a first choice. And just so you do not lose this information, the guide I mentioned has the exact dilution chart for both products, the application calendar by region, and the storm radar trick that predicts armyworm migrations before they hit your lawn. First link in the description. Now let us go deep into the part that earns the word forever. Before we get into the treatments, let me show you what to look for before the caterpillars even hatch. Walk along the side of your house in the morning and look at the siding, the fence posts, the underside of your patio furniture, and the trunks of trees. You are looking for small, fuzzy patches of gray or tan, about the size of a dime, that look like cotton or wool stuck to the surface. Those are egg masses, and each one of them contains between 100 and 200 future armyworms. If you find them, scrape them off with a putty knife into a bucket of soapy water. You just prevented an entire wave before it started. Many homeowners also confuse fall armyworms with two other lawn pests, and the wrong identification leads to the wrong treatment. Sod webworms are smaller, around 3/4 of an inch, covered in fine hairs with a dark head and a pinkish or yellowish body. They feed at night and roll silk tunnels through the thatch. Cutworms are bigger, fatter, smooth, and they hide during the day, curling up in a C shape under debris. Armyworms are the only one of the three that you will see openly feeding in groups during the day. If you see caterpillars marching together across the lawn in the middle of the morning, you have armyworms. Period. Now back to the two cheap weapons. BT is harmless to bees, birds, dogs, cats, fish, and children. You can spray it in the morning, and your kids can play on the lawn that same afternoon. Here's how it works. The caterpillar eats a blade of grass that has bati on it. The bacteria activates inside the gut of the insect. Within hours, the caterpillar stops eating. 2 to 3 days later, it is dead. But there is one important catch you need to know. BT only works well on small caterpillars, the early stages, the ones under 3/4 of an inch. If your armyworms are already big, marching, and 1.5 inches long, BT alone will not be enough. That is when you reach for the second weapon in the vault. Spinosad. Spinosad is also natural, derived from a soil bacteria called Saccharopolyspora spinosa, discovered inside an old rum distillery in the Caribbean. A small bottle covers up to 10,000 square feet. Spinosad attacks the nervous system of the caterpillar. Within minutes of contact, the larvae stop feeding. Within 24 hours, most of them are dead. This is the treatment that earns the word instantly in the title of this video, but Spinosad has one rule you must respect. It is toxic to bees while it is still wet on the grass. So you apply it in the late evening, after sunset, when bees are no longer flying. By the time the sun rises, the spray is dry and your bees are safe. The single rule, sunset application, is what separates the homeowner who saves the lawn and protects the pollinators from the one who solves one problem and creates another. There is also a third organic weapon you should keep in your shed, and it costs less than a pizza: neem oil. Cold-pressed neem oil is extracted from the seeds of the neem tree, and it disrupts the feeding and reproduction of dozens of garden pests, including armyworms. The recipe is simple: 2 teaspoons of neem oil mixed with 1 quart of water and 3 drops of dish soap as an emulsifier. Shake it well, spray it directly on the larvae and on the grass blades they are eating, and repeat every 5 to 7 days for 3 weeks. Neem is slower than Spinosad, but it is the safest option if you have edible plants nearby, vegetable beds bordering the lawn, or an active beehive on the property. Timing is everything when you spray. Apply your treatment in the early morning before 9, or in the late afternoon after 5 in the evening, never at midday. At noon, when the sun is highest, the caterpillars dive deep into the thatch to escape the heat. Your spray hits empty grass blades and disappears into the soil. Apply when they are actively feeding, when you can see them moving on the surface. Wet the grass slightly before treating, but do not soak it. A light pre-irrigation pulls the larvae closer to the surface and gives the spray something to cling to. Mow your lawn the day before application, never the same day. Same-day mowing removes the chemical you just applied. And after spraying, wait at least 24 hours before mowing or watering again. Now here is the part most videos skip, the part that earns the word forever. Killing the armyworms you see today does not stop the next wave. Within 3 weeks, a new generation of moths can lay eggs on the same lawn. So how do you make this forever? 3 habits, and you do them all year. First, mow high. Set your mower blade between 3 and 3.5 inches. Tall grass shades the soil, keeps the surface cooler, and discourages moths from laying eggs in the open. Short scalp lawns are billboards that say, "Armyworms welcome." Second, water deep, but rarely. 1 inch of water per week, delivered in a single morning watering. Daily light watering creates the warm, humid mat at the base of the grass that armyworms absolutely love. Deep, infrequent watering forces the roots down, builds drought tolerance, and dries out the surface where the eggs sit. Third, scout your lawn weekly from July through the first frost in autumn. Walk the edges every Saturday morning with your coffee. Look at the tips of the grass blades. If you see ragged, transparent damage, the kind that looks like the leaf was sandpapered, do the soap test that same day. Catching them at 1/4 of an inch is 50 times easier than catching them at 1.5 inches. Now let me save you from the 4 mistakes I see homeowners make every single year. Mistake number 1, they wait too long. By the time the brown patches are obvious from the kitchen window, the damage is done and the larvae are already too big for organic options. Mistake number 2, they use granular insecticide on dry grass. Granules need water to release the active ingredient. If your lawn is bone dry, the granules just sit there for days, slowly decomposing without doing anything. Always water lightly after applying granules, unless the label tells you otherwise. Mistake number 3, they spray once and walk away. Armyworms come in waves, multiple generations in a single season. Plan for 2 applications, 7 to 10 days apart, even if the lawn looks better after the first one. The second spray catches the eggs that hatched after the first treatment. Mistake number 4, they forget the moths. Turn off non-essential outdoor lights at night during peak season, July through October. Every porch light is a landing strip for an egg-laying female. A simple motion sensor outdoor light cuts your moth visits by more than half. Now let me give you 3 bonus weapons that almost no one talks about. Birds are your free pest control. Robins, starlings, blackbirds, sparrows, and even crows eat armyworms by the dozen. A simple bird bath placed near the lawn doubles your defense for $10. Beneficial nematodes also work. These are microscopic worms that hunt armyworm larvae and pupae underground. Apply them in spring, when soil temperature is between 60 and 80 degrees. You can buy them online for about $25 per package. And if you happen to have chickens, let them roam the lawn during armyworm season. A single free-range chicken eats more caterpillars than any spray ever will, and they fertilize your grass while they work. Most outbreaks happen between late July and early October, with peak migration following warm, humid storms moving north from the Gulf of Mexico. Texas, Florida, Louisiana, Alabama, Georgia, the Carolinas, Mississippi, and Oklahoma sit in the heart of the migration corridor. But fall armyworms travel hundreds of miles on storm winds, and outbreaks have been confirmed as far north as Pennsylvania, Ohio, and southern Canada in recent years. If a tropical storm or hurricane crosses the southeast, and you live anywhere downwind of it within the next 2 weeks, double your scouting frequency and have your dish soap ready. Now what about the lawn that is already half destroyed? Do not panic and do not rush to dig it up. If the grass crowns are still alive, and they almost always are, your lawn will recover. After the last caterpillar is dead, water deeply once, then wait 2 days. Apply a light starter fertilizer, no more than half the regular rate, to fuel new shoots without inviting a second wave. Reseed only the bare patches, never the whole lawn. Within 14 to 21 days, you will see green coming back through the brown. Within 6 weeks, most lawns are unrecognizable from the disaster zone you walked into that morning. And if you want to make sure this never happens again, here is the simple 12-month calendar. In spring, apply beneficial nematodes and aerate compacted soil. In early summer, mow high and start your weekly scouting walks. In midsummer, turn off non-essential outdoor lights and watch for moths around porch fixtures. In late summer and early fall, keep dish soap, BT, and spinosad ready in the garage at all times. In late fall, after the first frost, rake out the thatch and let the cold finish what your eyes started. And in winter, plan your next season while the moths are sleeping. Here is the truth that no product label will tell you. A lawn full of armyworms is a lawn that lost its balance. Compacted soil, too much nitrogen, too much shallow watering, no diversity in the grass species. Fix the soil, and the pests stop being a yearly emergency. This is the wisdom our grandparents knew before pesticides became the only answer. Healthy soil grows grass that takes a hit and grows back. Sick soil grows grass that surrenders at the first bite. And that is exactly why the guide I built is more than a product list. It is a complete soil and pest plan, season by season, region by region. Mowing heights for warm season and cool season grass, watering schedules by climate zone, organic treatments and chemical alternatives ranked by speed and cost. The full prevention timeline from January to December. Everything in one place, ready to print and pin to the wall of your garage. First link in the description below. One access, the complete knowledge, forever. And if this video helped you save even 1 square foot of grass, do me one small favor. Subscribe, hit the bell, and share this vault with the neighbor whose lawn looks worse than yours did yesterday. Because this knowledge belongs to everyone who still believes a healthy lawn is something you build with your own hands, not something you buy in a bottle once a year. The armyworms are not your enemy. They are the messenger. And now you know what they have been trying to tell you all along. See you in the next vault.